Where to start with this one? So, if you have not heard the news by now, and if you're watching this video, you probably have, Midnight Society has cut ties with Dr. Disrespect, Guy Beam. You know, Dr. Disrespect is the character, Guy Beam is the real person. And I got some stuff that I want to put out there, some reminders for everybody, some of my own personal thoughts, and so on and so forth. You know, up until this point, through this weekend, when allegations were made about, you know, the reason why Doc was banned, I specifically did not want to make any content about it. I don't want to engagement farm. I don't want to add to the controversy. These types of allegations are very serious for anybody, okay? Like, these are life-changing, very serious accusations. Like, right? Like, and I don't even know if I want to say it out loud what the accusation is. It's whenever somebody is accused of something like this, it's serious. People's actual lives, safety, families, employment, obviously for everybody at Midnight Society is involved. And this all started over, you know, a person on Twitter putting something out there. That's how it started. No proof, nothing, right? And to this day, I mean, let's get this to this second. As of the recording of this video, if you're watching this video, myself included, we don't know anything either way. But let's just get that out there. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but on either side, that's the point of an allegation, right? It is unproven. Don't know if it's true. Don't know if it's not true. And you know, there's a lot of questions about that, and we'll get to that in a minute. Over the actual severance of ties by Midnight Society, as it comes to Dr. Disrespect, Debt Drop, and so on and so forth. So we went through the weekend. Doc did put out a statement. You know, here's one of them on screen. He said, "Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the effing internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday." He actually streamed today. I'm not going to get into reacting to, you know, what he said on his stream or whatever, except he did say on his stream that he was taking a step back from streaming and Midnight Society. And then today, this is the official news, okay? On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed, along with our community of players. And for me, I made a commitment when I started this channel to cover Dead Drop and to cover Midnight Society, and I'm going to continue to do that, no matter what. That was always the plan. I'm going to cover Dead Drop and whatever else Midnight Society ever works on. Midnight Society is a studio. Yes, for a ton of us, myself included, Dr. Disrespect was a huge part, or the part that turned me on to the project, turned me on to the idea, whatever. But everything else has sold me the way that it's just a fact. And the things that I've been able to create in this space have been some of the most exciting stuff that I've ever created in my life. Midnight, my live action stuff. We're working on a second short film in the Dead Drop universe. It's going extremely well as far as the actual production goes. And for me, and I know a lot of creators are going to have decisions to make if they want to continue creating in this space. You know, there's a whole culture war around this issue, and I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into specifics of the allegation and debating it. That's not for me to say. That's not really for any of us to say, to be honest with you, because none of us know jack diddly squat. And that's just the truth. That's something that I've seen a lot of people debating or discussing, is Midnight Society's action to sever ties with Dr. Disrespect today and not share evidence. And, you know, think what you will. Again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But speaking from experience, I've been in a manager role for a long time for multiple companies. I'm what am I, 37, gonna be 38 this year. I've been a manager since I was 19. So what is that, 18, 19 years? I've been in charge of a lot of human resources investigations. And this is just my experience. I'm just sharing with you through my lens of a professional. I've had to deal with many allegations against staff from other staff members, from customers. And here's the thing, guys. When you do an investigation of any kind, which I'm going to assume that Midnight Society did based on Rob's tweet that he was looking into it, whatever, Friday or Saturday night, and then the wording in that tweet, the first thing said, we assumed his innocence, and after speaking, so blah, 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 blah. You don't ever share the results of your investigation, literally. You just don't. Like, you might tell everybody, we investigated this, and that's it. Like, we investigated this. The person is obviously still employed with us because, but you don't say, well, we don't go into detail. You don't provide screenshots, or you say, hey, even when we fire somebody, the companies that I've worked for, because allegations are true, or whatever, you don't tell people that stuff. Even your own employees, you don't do it. Obviously, people know that person got fired because they're not working there anymore. But you don't go around as the manager or the HR department telling everybody, hey, yeah, guess what we found that this guy did or this woman did. That you don't do that. And I know that a lot of people always want to know, okay, what was it that you found? What punishment did they get? What did they say? You don't share that. That you just don't. It's not, no lawyer, no legal department, no HR department will ever sign off on that. And that's the problem with these 2024 internet war allegations, is that Midnight Society is an actual company. They have employees. Their employees, including Dr. Disrespect, Guy Beam, as a co-founder, have certain rights and responsibility to the company, contracts, terms that they have to fulfill. Again, rights during certain times, whatever they may be. And those things have to be followed, right? On both sides. This situation is not about an internet culture war. This situation is about the management of a company. And that's different than the lens that 99% of the people on Twitter or Discord or whatever are going to view this through. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to. It's pointless. And I think demanding, that Midnight Society release this, whatever information they may or may not have, it's just not going to happen. I mean, the guy who randomly accused Doc on Twitter without proof, certainly an individual, that's different. A company, it's not going to happen. And, speaking as a manager, it's literally part of your job. It's literally an obligation to your staff, to your employees, to investigate the complaints and allegations that you receive. You can't, that's how corruption starts. That's how favoritism, that's how things get out of hand and problems don't get addressed, is when you have somebody who you trust inherently or whatever, or who's your friend, and you get a report about them, you're like, oh, they would never do that. And if you don't do your due diligence, that could come back to bite you. And again, I'm not saying that anything did happen here. I'm just saying, as a company, as a manager, you literally have to do your due diligence. Otherwise, you're not being responsible. Nobody in the world, nobody in life is untouchable. We have to. It's just part of the job, unfortunately. And it sucks, by the way. Investigating your own employees sucks every time. It's not fun. It feels horrible. Now let me preface this by saying that to me, Dr. Disrespect, the character, streamer, however you want to view it, right, it has been a huge inspiration to me throughout my career as a streamer. There's tons of us that I mean that's an understatement, right? The number of people that Dr. Disrespect has inspired to start streaming or whatever, creating content. I'm one of those people. No doubt about it. That's no secret. And like many, a lot of my initial interest in Dead Drop and Midnight Society was, of course, the fact that he was a co-founder. Over time, and after being introduced to Midnight Society, I became very sold on the team, the project, the individuals. You know, Robert Bowling, Call of Duty credentials, Quinn Del Hoyo, Halo credentials. Don't forget the CEO of Midnight Society. The actual CEO of Midnight Society is Sumit Gupta, who is Dr. Disrespect's long-term business partner, if you did not know that. The CEO of the company, Midnight Society, that just severed ties with Dr. Disrespect, is Dr. Disrespect's long-term business partner. Just saying that, you know, he's, as of this very moment, still with Midnight Society as far as we know. So, you know, many of us, and I put out a tweet that said this, and, you know, Midnight Society, that name was chosen in my mind on purpose, right? Like, the community around Dead Drop and around Midnight Society has been incredible. I've met so many people, both devs and interviewed devs who've been so good to me. And I've played with people, the Discord events, met a lot of you in Las Vegas at the most recent event. I've got nothing but good things to say about the people I've encountered, the people I've met, become friends with, worked with on various projects like my Midnight, my live action Dead Drop series, the stuff we're doing over at Viper UGC. And we're not the only ones, right? There's other people who've come together in this community that is, you know, Midnight Society around Dead Drop, inspired by this game world, this idea. Midnight Society's invitation to invite creators in and empower them. That's a fact. So for me, you know, that's really it right now. I think it's an understatement to say that this situation absolutely sucks for everybody involved. You know, this game, this couldn't come at a worse time. I mean, this game is working towards an early access launch in 3 to 4 months, and now we have this. And what, you know, again, no, as of right now, none of us know what the heck happened, right? Nobody watching this video, unless you were involved, unless you're Dr. Disrespect himself, or you were involved in the investigation of Midnight Society, which is not everybody at Midnight Society, mind you. This is like a management type thing. Normally, is how these go. Nope, nobody knows. And everybody, unfortunately, in this incredible community that is, you know, Midnight Society and Dead Drop is feeling the burn right now. And it certainly sucks. None of us know anything. And again, I'm not predicting that we really ever will, because multiple reasons. And it just sucks all around for everybody. But again, for me, I made a commitment to cover Dead Drop, to cover Midnight Society, the game, the vertical extraction shooter, the UGC, the universe. It is still all very, very, very interesting to me. I'm still moving forward with my next Dead Drop short film. And I understand there's going to be a lot of people who swear to never touch anything by Midnight Society, Dead Drop, and then by extension me, in light of this situation. But this is how I feel. I don't feel that anything that I've said in this video is controversial or accusatory of anybody in any regard on either side, and I don't blame anybody for the decisions that they make. You know, a lot of people have a lot of decisions to make about whether they're going to cover this or stream this game or not. And those are my thoughts. That's where I stand, you guys. I don't want to drag this out any longer. It's a tough one. We're all hurting right now. And the thing I would advise is to just if I had to say one more thing, it's stick together. Like I said, so many of us have come to know each other very well, become friends in some instances, work with each other, and this is a tough time for all of us. And attacking each other wherever on Twitter or Discord or whatever, doesn't matter. Certainly isn't going to help. So that's it, guys. That's all I got to say. You will be seeing more Dead Drop Midnight Society content from me on this channel. So for those of you who are sticking with me, sticking with the channel, sticking with the product, you know, I'll see you in the next video. For those of you who are not, thank you guys for your viewership up until now. I've sincerely appreciated every interaction I've had with all you guys. And, you know, I certainly hope that many of us will cross paths again. And it feels weird to be saying this. Didn't plan to be making a video like this, but just got to speak and get this out there. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Mayor Reynolds, Midnight Mayor, out.